At Thanksgiving, my stepfather locked me in a closet and called me a mistake. I stayed quiet. He thought I'd forgotten. But years later, I sat across from him in court and watched it all come down. I was 16 the Thanksgiving my stepfather locked me in the hallway closet like I was a broken toy. I remember the click of the latch more than the screaming. The smell of mothballs, coats, and old dust. The way the dinner conversation outside just continued. No one opened the door. Not my mom. Not my half-brother. I stayed there for almost 4 hours. Let me back up. My mother married Rick when I was 11. My father had died when I was 9. Car crash, no fault of his own. I didn't fully understand the permanence of death until the first Christmas without him. My mother met Rick the year after. They got married fast. Too fast. Rick was charming. That kind of easy laugh and firm handshake that made adults call him a stand-up guy. But kids know. You can feel it. He never hit me. Not in ways that would leave marks. That came later. At first it was comments. Little jabs. Your dad wouldn't have let you get soft like this. No wonder your real father's family never calls. You're lucky your mom lets you stay here. It escalated after my mom got pregnant. My half-brother, Mason, came along and suddenly Rick wasn't even pretending anymore. He'd call me extra luggage in front of my mother. She'd glance at me with that tight-lipped smile, like she'd correct him later. But she never did. Thanksgiving, 2013. We had extended family over. His side. His parents, his brother, some cousins. No one from mine. I made some offhand comment about college. Just an idle daydream about maybe applying out of state. I was always good at school. Straight A's. Quiet. Polite. Rick took a sip of his wine, leaned back, and said, "College. For you. That'd be a waste of everyone's money. You're a mistake, kid. Everyone knows it. Be grateful we even keep you around." No one said anything. A few chuckled, like it was a joke. I stood up. I didn't yell. I just stood. That's when he grabbed my wrist. Tight. Said something like, "You walk away from the table, you don't come back." Then he dragged me down the hall and shoved me into the coat closet. I heard the door lock. I heard them laughing. When my mother finally opened the door hours later, she wouldn't meet my eyes. She just said, "You need to stop provoking him." That was the day I stopped being her child. But I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just started collecting. I took photos. Of bruises he left when he'd grabbed my arm too hard. Of holes he'd punched near my bed. I saved texts. The ones he sent when he thought my mom was asleep. Screenshots of threats. Of drunken rants. I started recording audio. Quietly. Carefully. iPod in my sock. Phone in my pencil case. It wasn't just me. I recorded how he spoke to my mom, too. How he threatened her. How Mason, my little half-brother, would flinch when Rick walked into a room. By the time I turned 18, I had enough to build a case. But I didn't go to the police. Not yet. I went quiet. I think that's what scared him most, that I didn't scream. Didn't fight back. Just left. But I didn't forget. And I didn't forgive. Fast forward to last year. I'd been out of that house for almost a decade. I went into law. Paralegal work, mostly. Nothing glamorous. But steady. I worked quietly with a domestic violence attorney. One of the best. She taught me a lot, especially about how to gather evidence, build timelines, and make it stick. One day, a woman came into our office. Black eye. Small son. Her husband. A loud, controlling man. Former military. Had a good job, good standing in the community. Everyone believed him. Until we started digging. Until she showed me a photo of her husband. It was Rick. Older. Heavier. But him. Apparently, he'd left my mother years ago and remarried. Same pattern. New target. Still just as cruel. I didn't tell my boss right away. I just offered to take the case file. Said I had experience with his kind. I combed through everything. Cross-referenced names, dates, locations. Then I added my file. My real file. The closet. The bruises. The texts. The recordings. It was all legal. Everything I'd collected had a timestamp, context, chain of custody. I'd spent years studying how to make it airtight. I finally told my boss. She didn't hesitate. We filed. The court date came fast. Faster than I expected. And when Rick walked into the deposition room with his lawyer, he looked right at me. Didn't recognize me. Not at first. I sat across from him. Suit. Notes. File in front of me. He smirked, that same smirk he wore every Thanksgiving when he carved the turkey like he owned the room. But I saw his eyes falter when I said my name. When I listed every address he'd lived at. When I handed over the flash drive. I didn't yell. I didn't gloat. I just watched him realize. He hadn't gotten away with it. Not then. Not now. He tried to intimidate his new wife into silence. That backfired. She had recordings, too. The DA added my testimony to the case, along with 3 others who came forward. Turns out I wasn't the only kid he'd done that closet trick to. Just the only one who kept the latch. Rick took a plea deal. He's serving 7 years. Could have been more, but I'm not bitter. The best part? I didn't just help his wife and son get out safely. I helped them get a full restraining order, custody, and control of all finances he'd tried to hide. As for my mother, she still sends me texts. Guilt-laced, fragmented apologies. I don't reply, because I'm not the mistake. I was the reckoning. And I never raised my voice. I just opened the door, and made sure it locked behind him this time. Edit. Wow, I didn't expect this to blow up. To those asking, yes, I'm okay. And yes, I'm still helping other survivors. Quietly. Carefully. Sometimes the best revenge isn't loud. It's legal. It's prepared. And it never forgets. If my content has ever made you smile, think, or feel something, please consider subscribing. I'm on a mission to reach 1K, and I can't do it without you. Instead, I disappeared. Took a scholarship out of state.